So for this next topic, we're going to get into Candace Owens talks to the girl that sleeps with 100 men. So if you guys don't know already, you haven't been seeing this floating around, this girl named Lily Phillips decided to sleep with 100 men in one day for her adult content website. You know what I'm talking about. She decided to do that, and she obviously went viral. She went viral, of course, because it's outrageous and it's just outrageous. Let's go.
If I'm honest, it was hard.
Having sex with 100 men in a single day was not what OnlyFans model Lily Phillips expected it to be. After offering her male fans a chance to sleep with her, the 23-year-old details the not safe for work experience in a recent documentary with YouTuber Josh Peters. And according to Lily, the 14-hour stunt in which she gave each man 2 to 5 minutes to do the deed was not for the weak. She admits,
That's just it's just so gross. Like the idea of just 100 men, bodily fluids. You don't know them. You don't know them from a can of paint. You don't know where they've been. You don't know where they live. You don't know where they sleep. You don't know what they eat. You don't know nothing. But you just let these 100 men just insert you all these bodily fluids, sweat. I can't.
in a video published December 7th,
It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest, it was hard.
I guess I'm a weak girl because we're just not doing that. We're just not doing that.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Really?
Sorry.
Okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
And honestly, like, I feel like sadness for her. Like, I feel sadness for her, especially like in that moment, because like you just see like the veil come off. And even as the veil was starting to slip off, the mask was starting to slip off, she was still trying to like pretend everything's fine. It was like, it's fine. It's fine. And it's not fine. And it's okay for it to not be fine. There's a reason why God has a certain standard for us. There's a reason why God put this together for us, so that we have what we need to go through this life, so we can avoid feelings like that, like self-inflicted feelings. Like, yeah, my heart just breaks for her, and I pray that she comes to see like that's not real freedom. And we'll see her talk about freedom, but I pray like she comes to know that that's not real freedom. Like, that's not what the Lord intends for her life, not for my life or your life. Like true freedom is not that. Yeah, let's continue.
in fact, Lily had to excuse herself to cry in another room shortly after performing the feat, saying that it was definitely more intense than she thought. She can be seen getting emotional while explaining that she can't.
And I'm sure it was more intense than she thought, because sex, intercourse is a spiritual act. Like, it's a thing that's supposed to unite you and your husband together. So of course you open yourself up to all these things, these 100 men. Like, you talk about spiritual warfare, like you open yourself up to a lot in a day, a lot, not just health-wise, not just mentally, not just physically, but spiritually as well. So it makes sense why that was such an intense moment, because sex is 1-on-1. Like, it's supposed to be one person with one person. Like, yeah.
Constantly feels pressure to give the men a good time.
I guess the interactions when like I'd have to stop them early and like you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
The London-based influencer adds that several men even tried guilt-tripping her into extending their time together.
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the...
I mean, yeah, of course they try to guilt trip her. Like I said earlier, you not know these men. You not know them. And the only reason why they came there was to, 1, get off, and 2, be a part of your documentary, I guess. Like, this is just a certain type of person, a certain type of man that would stand in line to be one of the 100 men to do this. And typically those men don't have the best character, the best morals, or the best values. So of course, like, that doesn't surprise me that they would try to guilt trip her and just be selfish in that interaction.
Interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like, kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this. And like, it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal at all.
And while her room was littered with condoms at the end of the night, Lily recounts how she's feeling both physically and mentally by the end.
Surprisingly, downstairs,
I can't, like, that just, that makes me cringe. That makes me cringe. You know how much DNA, is littered all over that room? That's so gross. That's so gross.
is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired.
And this isn't the end for Lily. She revealed in a November video shared on X, "Last week I did 101 guys. This was just the warm-up because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day."
Why? Why? Like, I get it, it's your life, do what you want. But if there's any girls out there that are inspired by her work, know that, like I said, it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. For what will it profit them to gain the whole world and forfeit their life? At what cost? That's a lot of DNA over there. That's a lot happening. Now let's see what Candace had to say. Let's see what Candace girl had to say to her. I think we're starting at 11:30 to 21:18.
Sleeping around and doing these stuff like that before I actually did OnlyFans. I was a lot more promiscuous off camera before I was on camera. And so no, I do this job because I love it so much. And to me, obviously money in every job is a big thing, but it's not about the money for me. It's about...
You said you did this to give back to your OnlyFans that afforded your lifestyle. You said that, I think.
No, as in they have really helped me. You know,
But you said you thought my assistant.
I never said anything about money. Just about like
my
freedom.
assistant sat in a room and decided that we should do this as a way to give back to the fans that have supported this, like, you know, this lifestyle that I have.
Me and my assistant was talking, and I was like, I just looked up the world record because I was like, how cool would this be to do? Because obviously it's something that's kind of obviously never been done before. It'd be really unique content. It would also be giving, you know, back to my supporters and stuff like that who have subscribed and, you know, made my life how it is today. I didn't say yeah, lifestyle. So is it like this freedom that I have? I love the life that OnlyFans has given me, definitely, and that's not necessarily money.
What freedom has it given to you if it's not money? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, there's like some level of, like, I feel like the freedom that she's talking about is obviously money, and because of the money, that's allowed her to live her life freely and not be bound to having to show up at a physical location 9 to 5 from an employer. That is what I'm getting, but she doesn't, for whatever reason, she doesn't want to say that. Don't know why, but that's what I'm getting. What are you guys getting?
So to be able to work for myself, to be able to do something I love, you know.
Working for yourself, meaning making, right?
Sorry.
Working for yourself as in being able to earn an income by yourself. And
No, so working for myself to be able to wake up and grab a coffee in the morning and not have to be in a desk at a 9 to 5, to be able to myself and, you know,
Easy money.
make a living out of it, be able to support. So it's to be able to support myself, do something
yeah,
that I
that's
love,
money. Just,
and be able
just so
to
you
support.
know, that's all. That's money you're talking about. Like to be able to support
But
yourself.
it's, I'm not just talking about like money. I'm talking about the freedom this lifestyle has given me.
Money
That's-
permits freedom. Money
Yeah.
permits freedom.
Yeah, we're just trying to connect the dots there.
So money means you have the freedom to do whatever you can in your life, right? That's what money is, equals essentially time in this case, right? Because you're saying the freedom to do what you want to do. So the question
this is
is,
the thing. I could do OnlyFans and make 20 grand a month and still have the same lifestyle as I do now, than have to go to this extreme and, you know, do the 1,000. Like I could. So it's not really like the money thing for me.
Yeah, because now it's about the fame, the infamy, I think, for you.
Yeah, because like when I first was watching this, I was like, then if it's not about the money, then like, what other reason? What other reason? And Candace said fame, and I was like, that makes sense, because if it's not about the money, and if someone would offer her a deal to model instead of doing this lifestyle stuff, and she would still do this, it has to be like fame and being out of the ordinary in not the best way, and being polarizing. I think that's what she enjoys, is the polarizing effect of that lifestyle, being in the headlines kind of thing. Like, at what other purpose? How is this benefiting you other than finances? And how is this benefiting other people in a positive way? So it has to be fame.
Yeah. So there it is. It's obvious that this is something that is going to bring her great pain, but she's already pivoted and now she's pretending like she just had a weak moment after 100 men. And this is really what she's always wanted, because as you heard her say, she used to do this for free. She used to give up the goods for free. And we're supposed to imagine that she was sleeping with 1,000 men per day, as if that's clearly, you could be as promiscuous as you want, but no one has ever done that. And so it has to be about something else. Again, she's back to trying to sell the fantasy to men like she's actually into this, and she's not. And that's why it's important to speak to these people, because I think young women look at this as an example, and she's talking.
And that makes sense as well, because it's like, what other reason would she just go around this hamster wheel of being like, no, it's not the money, it's not the money, it's not the money, because that doesn't, I guess, resonate with who she wants her customers to be, because her customers want her to like what she's doing and love what she's doing, which is why she kept emphasizing, I love what I do, I love what I do, I love what I do. Makes sense?
About how this is about freedom. Did you hear her? She yeah, sure, she's got to sleep with 1,000 strange men, but she can get a coffee in the morning. And she doesn't have to think about it. She's not stuck in a cubicle from a 9 to 5. So there are some women who are stuck in a cubicle from 9 to 5, and they then get a coffee. She has so much more freedom because she's just going to sleep with 1,000 men, 1,000 strangers in one day. And she does.
Yeah, and like, that's not freedom. That's not, with everything that comes attached with that, sleeping with 100 men a day, that's not freedom. Because freedom is being free from sin, not being locked down, not doing things that will affect other people and draw other people into these dark holes, into these vices and things like that. Like, that's not freedom. And that's a lie that this world has, that is deceiving people. It's like, that's not freedom. It's really not. Seems like it, but it's not.
Doesn't really see that as a form of bondage, or at least the fake Lily, who I was interviewing, the fake Lily doesn't see that. The Lily that was crying obviously very much understood what she was giving up, and it lets you know that buried down deep, she does have a soul. But the more compelling piece of this for me really was learning that her mother is involved in her career. Her mother manages the finances. And when Lily spoke to journalists about this, she described her relationship.
Let me call my mom. Let's see what she says. She better pick up.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
It is like 10 o'clock. So she's probably. We'll see if she calls back. But yeah, that's crazy.
With her mother and her father as being wholesome, that these were good parents because they were supporting her. I know it's shocking. Take a listen to what she had to say. One of the questions that I certainly had when I was reading.
And it just goes back to the Raven-Symoné thing that I was talking about. Like, these parents are supposed to be the ones responsible. Yes, Lily is an adult, but I just cannot imagine me as a parent supporting my child in that way. Being like, yeah, I definitely don't agree with your lifestyle and you doing this. So why would I help you manage your finances? Why would I be involved in your business like that if I do not support and I do not agree with the lifestyle? So I don't know if she's paying her mom, and her mom was like, oh, whatever. I don't know, but that is an interesting dynamic.
Into your story was, I think that you kind of tried to portray it like you had this like normal upbringing, and I obviously don't buy that because I have children and I have a daughter, and your mother being involved in this signals to me that you had anything but a normal upbringing, because there's no mother that would spiritually want to see her child violated like that, because that's what it is, whether you perceive it or not. Your mother is watching you or helping you or dealing with the finances of you being violated 100 times in one day. And so I was very disturbed.
Seeing you violated 100 times in a day. And also, like we saw in the last clip, like the lady that was sitting on the couch with her, like you just see your daughter breaking down. You just see your daughter crying about it all. Like, how can you as a mom just be like, yeah, we're just going to continue and we're going to hit the four digits of sleeping with men? And when, like, how? I don't get it.
By that more than anything else is like, I've heard of OnlyFans girls. I've sat down with them, you know, respectfully on the whatever podcast, and a lot of them have stories and they understand that, you know, my mom, my dad, my upbringing didn't do this. You know, it led me to this choice in life, but you don't seem to have recognized your mother's abuse in this, which is quite alarming to me. So I'm just curious about your relationship with her.
I mean, my parents definitely don't describe having as, what did you say? Sorry, abusive or
violating.
I don't think it's abusive. I think your daughter being violated 100 times by strangers is abusive.
So my parents don't describe it as being violated. They don't really see it in that way. They know I've always been very liberal, and to be honest, my parents, they don't necessarily, they're not coaching me into it. They're not telling me, please keep having these people at all. They're not, you know, they're not really exactly, I wouldn't really say like supportive, but at the end of the day, they love me. And what is it going to do if they disown me, stop talking to me? That would only cause more heartache. So they see it from a standpoint of, you know, my mum does like my finances because she wants to help me. You know, they just want to do what they can to help.
But that's like enabling. Like, yeah, I get it. I get why they would want to help her. Of course, seeing it from a lens of not being a parent yet and all those things. But Oh, my mama called. Okay. Hey, mom.
Hey, what's up?
I'm recording a video right now, so don't act different. Don't act weird. But
Huh?
I have a question. What would you do if I decided to sleep with 100 men in a day for OnlyFans?
For what?
For OnlyFans.
For fans.
OnlyFans.
Only fans.
Yeah. Do you know what that is? It's like where people go to watch adult content.
Uh-uh.
What do you mean? Mm-mm?
People go to. Girl, what is wrong with you?
Because I'm doing this video, and the girl, her name's Lily, and she decided to sleep with 100 men in one day for content.
She done lost her behind.
And she ended up crying because of the experience.
Well, she shouldn't have done it.
But get this, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents don't support it, but they help her, and her mom does her finances for her business.
Well, something wrong with both of them. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy.
It's very unfortunate, yes.
Yes. That's not godly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your take on that.
Mm-hmm. I just happened to look at my phone. I was about to go to sleep.
Yeah, I was like, you're probably going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
That's
all I wanted. I'll talk with you later.
You doing the video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah. Your dad said he tried to call you earlier. He said you were knocked out.
Yes, I was. Yep.
I'll tell you.
But yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'm filming
honey.
now.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Tell you soon. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's my mama's sake. I forgot what I was saying before she called, but let's continue.
It's not so much like if they disown me tomorrow, like I think that would just make everyone more upset.
Are you giving your mom a cut?
I'm not arguing that they should disown you. I mean, I understand like a mother's love for their child. I'm saying that it is unnatural for your mother to be counting the finances that you're earning from having 100 strangers violate you on the internet for cash, you know? And that is the part that there's just no way to normalize that. There's no way to normalize that. I'm a parent. There's no way, like I have a daughter, and the idea of being involved in that, like it's not saying that if she goes down that path, that you're not going to be there and pray and hope that, you know, she changes and speak to her about that and say, I'm always going to love you. But I view it as predatory, parental behavior. And I don't think I would necessarily, I don't think it's fair to even describe it as my parents are liberal. I mean, I'm obviously not a liberal, I'm a conservative, but none of my liberal friends, liberal family members, their parents would view this also as demonic, whether they have faith or not. They would just say, what parent would want that for their child? Because your mother is old enough to understand what the implications are for your future. You know, you already comprehend what the futures are, making it. I get that you turn everything into a joke. I think you do that really to protect yourself as an armor. I don't think you actually think it's funny, but to recognize that like you're a beautiful young girl, and you're never going to have the prospects. You're not going to have a man that wants to have a family with you because they're going to see you as damaged goods. Your mother partaking in that, just so you know, is a form of abuse. It is. It's abusive. And this kind of
And I commend Candace for having like the honest conversation with her, because I think like especially that last part, I really think she was talking to her like a big sister, or talking to her like as if that was her daughter. Um, yeah, so I respect it. I respect it.
Gets into the broader point, and I think the main takeaway of what's going on with Lily Phillips is that all across the world we are facing, I think, a crisis of parenthood. Parents that want to be friends with their children, parents that have given into, and I want to be clear, I don't like her confining this and saying, well, this is what liberalism is. Yes, liberals tend to be quite liberal on the sex topic, but even them, I think a bridge too far is 1,000 men in one day. But this is a slippery slope, right? This is the slippery slope of the sex revolution. And it's why I'm very proud of my faith. I think the church got it right. I think things have become increasingly undone in this culture of sex education at school, teaching people that sex is healthy, having multiple partners is healthy. It is why I hate the modern feminist movement, because it leads women to this point of believing that they're going to be empowered the more partners that they have. When in reality, what they're doing is they're decreasing their prospects in the future. And so I think Lily Phillips is an important cultural moment. I think it's good for liberals and conservatives to consider what it is that she's discussing, and to realize, I hope, that we have more in common, and to kind of go back and think through the 1970s and the sexual revolution and the indoctrination that children are going through into believing that you're somehow backwards and you're wrong if you want to save yourself from marriage. But what she's doing is totally progressive. And if that's progress, I want to be clear, send me backwards. I'm archaic. I am totally fine with being considered completely regressive and backwards on this topic of modern feminism. I think it cheapens both women and it cheapens both men. And that's all.
I agree. I think it cheapens women, it cheapens men. That's why she experienced the atrocity of an experience with the men. And I know a lot of people bring up you attract who you are. And the lifestyle that she has, yes, that she looks very posh, she looks very high class and luxury, but the lifestyle that she's indulging in, the oldest profession in the world, probably, those are the kind of men that you are going to get as a result. Like, and what she mentioned about the quality of men, like when she is maybe ready to be like a mom, ready to be a wife, that's what she wants to do. Or maybe she may come to the point where she's like, well, whatever, I'm just not going to be a wife anyways, because maybe she feels like that will just never happen for her because of these life decisions that she's made. And so it just puts her in a tough predicament, especially if deep down inside, like, she does want a genuine relationship, does want a genuine husband, and an old, I don't want to say old fashioned, but just a typical family, like mom, dad, kids. Like, it's gonna put her in a predicament in all aspects of that. So that's why our decisions matter. They affect other people, they affect ourselves. And yeah, so all this to say, I love honest and uncomfortable conversations because it leads to growth. You could tell on Lily's face at some points, like she was trying like not to be phased, but there were points when Candace would say things and her facial expression would like do a little micro expression. I think that's what it's called. And you could just see like that hit something in there. And so I pray like the conversation that she had with Candace is a seed planted, and that she comes to know, like, for whatever reason why she decided to get into this industry, that she comes to find real freedom in Christ. She comes to find real freedom in Christ. She comes to find that there are other ways to make money. She comes to find that seeking fame and seeking whatever attention that she's seeking, that will not fill the hole that she has inside. The only thing that will fill that hole is a relationship with Christ. So, but this brings me to Titus 2:3-5. Just commend Candace, and like the whole reason why I do this show again is Titus 2:3-5. It says, in the same way, older women are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers, not slaves to excessive drinking. They are to teach what is good, so that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands and to love their children, to be self-controlled, pure, workers at home, kind, and in submission to their husbands, so that God's word will not be slandered. And I think that is exactly what Candace was trying to do there, and trying to encourage Lily, and to teach her what is good, to push her and change her frame of thought to what is good and not evil. And so I do hope it was a seed planted. I really do pray. I really do not want her or anyone to stay in that lifestyle that not only leads themselves into darkness, but leads other people that watch them or other people that look up to them into darkness as well. So those are my thoughts. Let's get into these questions. So my question to you is there an uncomfortable but honest talk God is leading you to have with somebody, and why haven't you had it yet? Like, just go to the Lord with that. I know it's hard to have these uncomfortable and honest conversations, but sometimes those honest and uncomfortable conversations not only help you grow, but help another person grow, and may even bring someone out of a situation that is not the best for them, that is not ideal for them. So yeah, I'm all for having an uncomfortable and honest conversation. All for it. I am a fan. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, and let's get into all right. So for those that don't know, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning into today's episode. If you have made it this far, you have an opportunity to enter the giveaway for our quality entertainment shop, where we have just our classic collection currently. And this is just a way for us to extend the quality outside of YouTube, and so you guys can rock us and share it out into the world, and then share what we're doing if you enjoy the content and you find it valuable. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is make sure you like, you comment your favorite part, and to make sure that you are subscribed. That's all you got to do. And yeah, that's all you got to do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the peace and love of Jesus Christ be with you. Bye.